Well.
Still don't have a baby.
Wait, I feel like you should tell the story you told me, unless it's too personal.
I don't think it's personal, but Katie has put some juju on me.
Yes! I put it into the universe.
So, what are we, a month ahead? Is that how far we are?
Yeah, sure. A couple weeks.
I thought I would be raring to go by now, but homegirl is taking her time. And right now, if she continues to take her time, I will be induced right around Katie's birthday.
Woo! Birthday buddies! Her and me and our niece! Yeah!
Can you believe, people?
Can you believe? My God. So now, listeners, you need to also manifest that into the universe, because that's all I want for my birthday is a new niece.
But, like, I don't want to wait another week and a half.
But, like, wouldn't it be, like, so special?
Yeah. Yeah, this is tough. This is a tough time. These, to me, I feel similar to Frodo as I keep walking
you have
and walking.
A burden
and walking.
that's trying to kill you? Is that what you have? Oh, no.
No. But the sense of, like, Mordor, how far away are you?
You're like, we took a wrong turn. God damn it.
I'm like, where's Sam the Brave to help me?
Sam the Brave.
Why can't we just fly on the eagles? No,
Bridget, no, we can't get into that again. No. Oh, God.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters. Sisters who've seen it.
Hello.
Hello there.
You shall not pass!
Woo!
I think you did that the last time we did Lord of the Rings, and I laughed really hard, so I wanted to, like, also be funny. So I did it this time.
Fly, you fools!
Fly, you fools! Oh, the trauma. They start us off with the trauma. Can't handle it. My God.
I really like that energy, Kate. That's a good energy start off.
Thanks. Where did it come from? Came from my wine glass.
glass.
Okay. So we are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where two sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
And my precious
Schmeagol.
Boy, what a one-man show that Smeagol is. Bridge, what's our movie this week?
Our movie is a listener pick from David.
Oh, yes, David, yes.
Who we love. And David, you might have said, did they get my email? Did they get my request? That was about a year ago. Don't worry.
This was embedded in the Black Panther recommendation he gave as well.
Boom.
Yeah.
Well, David, we are doing this for you. The 2002 sequel to the trilogy, The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers.
Correct. It's correct. It's very correct.
Katie believes is the best one.
I don't know.
Or no?
I don't know if it's the best one.
Oh, okay.
The third one, in my opinion, is the best one, but I definitely watched this one a lot. Like, a lot.
Oh.
Like, maybe the most ever.
But it's not the best one.
I mean, the third one's the best one.
So, we've established that.
Okay.
Who's doing this synopsis? Because, good God, it's a 3-hour movie.
It was 2 hours and 59 minutes, just to be clear. Okay?
Okay.
I don't know if that included the credits, but...
That's 3 hours.
I mean, Bridge, I think we should keep a tradition and have you do the Lord of the Rings synopsis, and then I just aggressively chug my wine the entire time.
All right, you ready to waterfall?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna start now. Okay.
It's the continuing quest of Frodo. sorry.
It's good. You're doing great. Good start. Keep going.
You already spit out your wine.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm great.
Woo! Okay. Oh my God. God.
Okay.
I can't look at you. Okay.
Okay.
It's the continuing quest of Frodo and the Fellowship to destroy the One Ring. Frodo and Sam discover they are being followed by the mysterious Gollem.
Gollem!
Aragorn, the elf Legolas, and Gimli the dwarf encounter the besieged Rohan Kingdom.
Okay.
That was the...
What about Merry and Pippin? They're like, fuck them? They don't care about them? The fuck?
All right, Kate, I believe this is my
I'm
synopsis.
so sorry.
Shut it.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a very long plot, so I'm really gonna take it back, okay? They do good job where they start where the last one ended, and Gandalf is basically fighting that demon creature from...
Balrog, yeah.
Oh, wow, you knew the name.
Sorry.
Okay, fighting... Crazy beautiful shots for that. And you kind of think, oh no, Gandalf's like, we don't know what's happening to this dude. And that kind of is something that eventually he evolves. And I'm going to skip ahead, but like, I think it's relevant.
Yes.
He evolves from Gandalf the Grey to Gandalf the White. And the only way that I could describe it is like, he had one of those like weird baptism experiences where he just like fell in a lake and he's like, I'm healed. And now God sent me to do cool shit.
I mean, that's not too far off. So
yeah, so basically he got sent back to like do cool shit. And Saruman, who has
good job.
brainwashed Solomon.
Oh wait, no, not good job.
Damn it.
Sauron is the eyeball.
Is the eyeball who is brainwashed.
Saruman. There's another syllable.
Who's the white-haired witch dude?
Saruman.
Oh, Sauron.
Sauron is an eyeball. So there's only two, which is less than three, which is more than an eyeball, which is Saruman.
Oh god, I hate it. Okay.
You're with it. You got it.
The evil eyeball dude,
yes,
who's super scary, has brainwashed this other white wizard dude who is wreaking havoc all over the world to basically get rid of men. And he's producing these orcs, and it's some alien shit. They got like pods from the underground, and they're just like breeding. And it's an army of basically 10,000 orcs, and they've just gone into village to village, pillaging and murdering people. And all the while, the split between Frodo and Sam, who continues to go down the path to get rid of the One Ring. They're still doing their thing. Legolas, Aragorn, and Gimli are like kind of meeting up at these places, and they're like, hot damn, there's a war brewing, and we are the three best people to fight it.
Because we're the three best friends that anybody could fight, and we're the three. Sorry.
And so they keep kind of seeing these things happen, and I think it gets to this point where, and then, to your point, Merry and Pippin,
people don't forget,
are working another mystical angle where we meet these, like, crazy tree people.
The Ents.
What are they called?
Ents.
Oh.
Like E-N-T.
I could have come up with a better name, but
That's
okay. So the Ents and Merry and Pippin are also saying, like, man, stuff's going bad, and there's all these, like, different angles of everyone trying to figure out, like, okay, this is kind of serious. Like, we really need to, like, get on this. And it all culminates to this epic battle at Helm's Deep.
Yes.
Which is not really like a town doesn't live there, but it's like where people go because you can't get past this wall, and well, these orcs do.
Yeah, like pretty quickly.
And it's the craziest battle scene. I think it's so freaking cool, and you have all these people fighting together, and it was very Spartan. It was like, I read that like the 300, right? Wasn't it the Spartan movie?
Yeah.
Verse 10,000, like that was like what they were kind of showing the contrast of how David and Goliath, and somehow they beat them, and it was very epic and incredible. And at the same time, when that ends, you're seeing Frodo and Sam continue their quest, but they're also like, they still got a ways to go. I left out the new creature, Gollem, who is played by Andy Serkis.
Yes.
Who does not get the credit he deserved, because back when this movie came out, apparently animations couldn't be nominated
for best
awards.
Actor.
Yes, and he was very salty about it.
Wait, can they be nominated for that now?
Maybe.
Ooh. He did such a great job.
He did such a great job. He got so into it. It was so physical.
Mm-hmm.
This CGI is it's rough.
Makes it a little scarier to look at him up close.
Yeah, but I think what is really good about this movie compared to the other two, you don't need the backstory as much, which is the first one. It doesn't get as like super duper intense because they're still not like at Mordor.
Yeah.
But you get an epic fight. So people that like action, I think this is the movie for you.
Yeah.
Whew, Kate.
Good bridge.
Really? I'm really coming a long way, don't you think?
Yeah.
And everything is like really hard to breathe because I have this big belly.
Good job, Bridge. That was great. And
Thank you.
Yeah, this movie is just so fun. And you don't think it's gonna be as fun because the first movie it was like, oh, everyone's like coming together and we're all together and hooray, we're all together and that's a good time. But this movie, everybody's like in different spots and you're like, that sucks, but it doesn't suck.
It doesn't, and I gotta tell you, I wrote like the weirdest shit because I watched this movie over like 3 days.
Oh, well, it is long. So.
Well, and I'm already seeing my first note is, oh man, we flash back to Gandalf and I just think of Katie dressed up as him at a rave dancing. What am I saying?
Do you remember that video? Go on our Instagram. There's a video on it. Okay. That's the best fucking video ever, by the way. I will repost that when we release this episode, even though it has nothing to do with the second movie. But
and then I'm apparently Larry David, because then I go on to say, the physics don't make sense. You have this huge dragon that falls, and somehow Gandalf can catch him when he is definitely not the same weight.
Yeah.
And is not falling at the same speed. But it's a pretty shot. And so, like, I'm just gonna tell you, I was weird. I have very weird notes. All right. So I don't know what's happening.
I'm into it. I wrote, let's go skydive and beat up a monster. Woo! And it is funny how they like, I think it's a good connection. They picked this scene to kind of start this movie off because then obviously it connects to what happens later, which you don't know right away. But it's kind of is funny where you're like, oh, we're just gonna start off with the trauma. You're just gonna fucking make me all sad right away. No, it's fine. It's all fine. I have my tissues ready. Everything's great. Oh my god.
Kate, I'm telling you, the formula for a really good movie is like actions right away.
Yes.
The shot of it's all dark and it zooms out because you're like really in it and he's like fighting and whipping back and forth. It zooms out and you see this like beautiful little like amber light of the like the monster and him falling into the water.
So cool.
That is really, and that holds up and it's just, I don't know, it's very like, oh.
It's a lot of angel music because Gandalf is basically Jesus. I think. I'm pretty sure that's what the author was going for.
He really, your love affair for Gandalf, this movie solidifies it. Because he crushes it.
He's like, I don't have time to go to the motherfucking library. I gotta go fix everything because nobody else can do stuff. And like, I'll just fucking fix it all. And you're like, thank God you're here because...
He's amazing.
Wow. Thank God you stopped raving in a parking lot and took a shower or something. All right. Then, that whole beginning is not like just a flashback, it's a dream something that Frodo is having, and then he's like, oh my god, Gandalf, oh no, and you're like, me too, Frodo, I'm so sorry, it's so sad. And then Sam's like, anyway, let's go, time to go. And you're like, okay, cool.
Frodo's like, I got hired for these baby blue eyes and I need to make them cry.
Yeah, and this movie is a lot of jumping around, which I feel like might be a little difficult to go scene by scene, if I'm being honest. Normally I love scene by scene, but I feel like it might be kind of hard to do it.
It's a new day. It's a new day. You take the lead. Let's do it.
All right, well, I'm trying to like understand my notes because I wrote, evil eye is intimidating, lambus bread, hooray, hiking in the rain, no fun. I think this is still Sam and Frodo, if I were to guess, so.
Well, so part of the reason they got into, like, first of all, we had made fun of Gimli, because he's like, oh, my cousin lives here, and then he found out, like, his whole family reunion was dead.
They did.
And you're like, Gimli, awkward. Yeah. And then they meet this crazy monster that Gandalf's like, okay, now you killed me, Gimli. And the reason that they got into that mess was because Gandalf was trying to, like, not be a helicopter parent to Frodo, and he's like, which way should you go? Frodo. And Frodo's like, laughed. And he's like, God damn it, now I'm going to die. But they're still lost. So even after that whole nonsense, Frodo's looking at Sam and he's like, we're freaking lost. We keeps going in the wrong direction. And that is where you get this good intro to Gollum.
This is a good intro. And there are a lot of parts in this movie that are like, I don't want to say unnecessarily, but like a little bit. Like it's kind of like soap opera-y dramatic.
Oh, yeah.
So this scene where Frodo like, it's like quiet and then Frodo like gets his big blue eyes and he like stares at Sam and he goes, we're not alone. And you're like, shit, am I in the horror movie now? And then no, it's not. It's just freaking Gollum. And you're like, oh, okay, why did we film it like that? My heart's going fast and I'm nervous.
Well, Gollum really represents, okay.
What does Gollum represent, Brit?
I'll tell you, because we've
ready.
all been there. Because this is why two ladies run this podcast, okay? You've had a best friend. You've had this best friend for life. You're going through the thick of it. And then that best friend introduces another friend. And you're saying, who the fuck is this person?
Wow.
You know? How are you going to give them all of that history and love and attention? And that's kind of what Frodo does. Frodo kind of stirs the pot of like, Sam, you're not understanding Gollum. Gollum's now named Smeagol. Smeagol's not that bad. And Sam's like, I don't trust him.
Yeah.
And I look out for your best interest. And honestly, I'm the one in this fucking trek helping you get there. And it is so drama. It is like Real Housewives.
Yes.
Like Gollum could add some freaking gold bracelets and a big blonde wig, and let me tell you, replace the lines with Real Housewives, same thing.
I think we probably could edit some of these scenes like that because there are definitely like very like, you said what to me? How dare you? And you're like, guys, focus. There's a fucking war happening right over there. Oh,
and
my
literally
God.
Gollum's like, I hate the way you cook. I want like raw sushi. And Sam's like, you're disgusting. You need to cook it. And like, again, Frodo's like, listen, stop fighting over me, friends.
Yeah,
God.
Frodo's like, geez, why are you so obsessed with me? It is very mean, girls. It is Frodo, Regina, George. Somebody write a Reddit thread about that and then send us the entire thing in an email so we can read it.
But don't worry, because if that's the whole movie, we'd all kill ourselves. Yeah. It's not.
No. We do meet Gollum. They catch him, which it seemed really easy to catch him. A little too easy. I mean, Gollum did put up a good fight. He's trying to get the ring and he's all crazy. And then, they just put a little rope around him and he is screaming bloody murder. And then he decides to help them because they're fucking lost because nobody gave him a map because Frodo didn't plan for things. And he just wanders off into the forest like a freaking toddler who needs a leash. And anyway, so we recruit Gollum and now Gollum is their guide and he's like, I will bring you to Mordor and then you don't kill me. And you're like, okay, it's a weird.
And the backstory with Gollum is okay, he was the original founder of the ring.
Not like the OG, but he did find it.
After the basically men ruined it.
Yes.
And then this ring was in these caves.
Yes.
He found it and then basically held onto it longer than the other dude who was Frodo's uncle. Bilbo. And so he turned into this gross mystical creature and that's why kind of Frodo was pitying him because he's like, man, I mean, I've had this for a couple weeks. This guy's had it for 50 years. He's, and I read that the acting inspiration was an addict, a drug addict.
Well,
which kind of
executed
fits, right?
well. Yeah.
Yeah.
They give you more of Gollum's backstory in the third movie. I think that's how the third movie starts off. It's literally him before he found the ring. And then it's he found the ring. And then ooh, it gets bad real quick. Ooh.
And I'll tell you, when you've seen those prison shots of someone before drugs and then 20 years on meth.
Yeah.
That's Gollum, folks.
That's Gollum. It is.
Guys, say no.
Say no to rings. All right.
Everybody stay single.
So
okay?
if you get proposed to, no.
Actually, that might be true. Anyways, we need to move forward.
Let's move on.
Real.
Okay, so then, all right, blah, 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 blah. Okay, next part I have is I have a meanwhile in here, which is my code and my notes for, okay, now we're skipping somewhere else.
Katie, I have so many meanwhiles.
It's the only way to keep track because there's so many things going on.
Wow, I have a lot. I'm literally highlighting meanwhile.
I have meanwhile.
Okay.
So my first meanwhile is, meanwhile, Merry and Pippin are having some orc piggyback rides through the forest.
Why don't the orcs kill them?
Because they were taking the hobbits to Isengard. That's a song on YouTube.
But why were they doing that?
Because they were going to bring them to Saruman, because Saruman said you have to go find the hobbit, and they didn't know which hobbit had the ring, so they just got hobbits, so they're going to bring them to the wizard, so you can figure shit out. So that's why they were like, we can't kill him. Except for that one orc that was like, let's fucking kill them. And then it escalated very quickly.
Okay, I'm following.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they had like a little orc fight.
They did.
You know, you're like, okay, and then Rohan comes in and basically then really fights these orcs.
Motherfucking ride as a Rohan! These bitches saved the day. They saved multiple days.
Dude, the name Rohan is pretty epic because you could like scream it.
Rohan!
Yeah. Some of the other towns, I was like, what's your name? I can't keep up.
And I'm so ashamed to say this, but Carl Urban's character, I don't think I know his name. I just called him Carl. It's Carl with a K. We love him. We love to see him. He's the one with the thick eyebrows. Who was the horse rider?
Wait,
that's a triple C thick, if you were wondering, by the way.
Who is this person?
I'll just say to you. He's hot. And yeah, he's in this movie.
Oh man, I can't find it. Okay, continue.
Okay, so yes, they come in. They basically like save the motherfucking day because the hobbits were gonna get eaten.
Yeah, he's hot.
And the hobbits are like, yay, okay, let's leave. There's a lot of like Pulp Fiction-esque jumps in this movie where you're like, why did you cut it there? And like, so the one part where it's like Pippin is like laying on the ground and you see like a horse and it looks like it's gonna stomp his fucking face and he's like, ah! And then it like the camera like goes closer to his face, but like we all know he's not gonna get his face stomped in, but then it cuts away as if like, oh, did he get his face stomped? And I was like, no, movie, he fucking didn't. Why you gonna cut it like that?
But Kate, when you first saw it, you didn't know.
I knew, Bridge, because I read the books, okay?
Oh,
but even besides that, like, they're not gonna stomp Mary Pippin's face in. Damn.
True.
It's not Game of Thrones.
True. Well, and then I think to your point, then we go to like a running race, like a very unfair running race.
It's not fair at all.
Aragorn, Legolas.
I was having some PTSD.
Oh my god, we are all Gimli in gym class. Like literally, Gimli was like, "Us orcs are fast at sprinting, not at like long distances," and they're like straight up like Forrest Gump cross country running.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And it was like not one pan, and you're like, all right, well that's a funny little thing. It went on for like 15 minutes.
I was
like,
tired.
Is Gimli okay?
I was a little
Gimli
tired.
Okay.
Watching it, I was like, I'm sweating. Something's happening. It's not good. I do love how they introduce, I have a note about this. So it's the three of them, Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli, but they show our fan favorite, of course. They show Aragorn first, and I go, Aragorn is listening to a rock in sexiest of ways. Because he fucking like had his ear against a rock, and you're like, why? And then he's like, they're running, and you're like, yeah, got it. Did you need to listen to a rock that doesn't make noise? Is that what we were doing? Okay.
Well, I'm glad in this movie they calm down with Legolas is like, I'm gonna predict the future with a weird poem, but it's not gonna be helpful.
But you know what they increased with him though in this movie? His motherfucking elf eyes, Bridge. Legolas, what do your elf eyes see? And also use them better because we still get ambushed sometimes, so I'm a little confused what we're doing.
It was definitely like that trend in middle school when everyone got like, bright green contacts.
Oh my god.
You're like, oh, hope you like this later.
Oh no. Yeah.
But let me tell you, that King of Rohan, because we meet him and he's under a spell, he is looking rough.
I didn't like it. I didn't
like it either. I was like, he's just gonna like, it was some Indiana Jones at the end when they all turn into the skeletons. I was like, he's about to literally just crumble.
Yeah.
It's gnarly.
Ark of the Covenant shit right there. I would have liked to know, okay, so like he's the king, so like everybody knows who he is, and like I don't think this happened overnight, but it's possible. But like, don't you think like that people would have been a little more skeptical that he was kind of under a spell because they were all just like, woe is us, our 50-year-old dad who looks like a 1,000-year-old is just so weird now, and oh man, that stinks for us. I was like, wait, well, why? Why are we just accepting this is him? I'm confused.
I'm with you, because as we see later, Rohan is not a passive town. They are ready to step in and fight. But I think that teed up the fact that they were like, all right, we're gonna get out of here because this guy's lost his mind. And then who was the weird dude that was casting the spell on him?
Oh, no. So, okay, the spell was cast by Saruman, which is 3 syllables, which is the wizard. It's okay, Bridge. Okay. We got this. We can do this. Okay. Saruman, who's from Isengard, who's next to the tree Ents. Okay, you got it. Okay. Yeah. He put a spell on Rohan, the king, Theoden, because he was like, oh, it's like men, and like we can control and like manipulate and kind of break them up. He's not going to send help to all these like smaller towns that I'll send the orcs to and they'll take over. Great. Okay. But he sends this guy who is Brad Dourif, who I'm pretty sure is an Oscar winner, plays Wormtongue. Wormtongue was basically like the little like, you know, pansy from Saruman that was like, I'm going to go and make sure that all of our evil endeavors are being followed through with, and I'm going to like basically speak for the king because now he's under a spell so he can't really speak, but I'm going to like make sure people understand. So that's why he'll like say things like, don't talk to him about those like upsetting news is about death. And they're like, but we need help from him. And he's like, no, you don't.
I mean, it was very David Spade in Coneheads.
Oh my fucking God! Yes, it was. Wow, I love that reference. I always love a Conehead reference.
I'll take that. I'll let him know. I'll pass it on to the boss.
God.
Okay,
you're
so
right.
that I'll be honest. If I could make some edits to this movie, I'd cut their stuff down. It's like, okay, you're under a spell. This evil dude's doing it. We get it.
I would have cut out the scene where he's a big ass creeper and he's like, "Hey, brother's dead. Want to make out?
Ugh.
What do you think?" And she's like, "Ah!" And then I'm like, "Okay, what is the plot? Is this anything for the plot? Because I already know he's a creep and he sucks, and she's not into it. So like, why did I need that? I didn't at all."
Well, and the king killing his son under the spell, like that was relevant because when he got out of the spell, you were like, "Oh man."
Oh, that was sad. Yeah,
that was sad.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a sad part.
But I, in general, I wanted that to like be buttoned up faster. But Kate, who saves? I know, I'm jumping, but who comes in and fucking saves this king?
Oh, well, who do you think?
The one and only.
I'm trying to play rave music because it's Gandalf coming in with the glow sticks. Just kidding, he doesn't have glow sticks. He just has his staff.
Okay, we're gonna do our father's reference right here.
What is it?
Because if our father was Gandalf, he would pull a sly ass move that Gandalf did.
Yes, he would.
They all are like, take the weapons from Aragorn,
right.
Legolas. I know those sneaky like little mofos. Take the staff from Gandalf, and Gandalf goes, what does he say, Kate?
He goes, you wouldn't take an old man's walk cane, would you? And you're like, very clever.
Very clever. Guy. Our father would absolutely do that.
Yes.
He would absolutely like yell at someone and shame them, and then come inside and use his magical staff to break the spell and save the day, because that is one of the many times Gandalf saves the day.
I'm imagining instead of our dad with a cane, he has like his whole fucking scooter or something, and they're like, we can't like let the scooter in, and he'd be like, you're not gonna take a scooter away from a guy who needs a scooter, are you? And they'd be like, you're right, and then he just scoots in and he runs over the king, and then that saves him. That's how I imagine it would go in our version.
That's definitely he puts it on rabbit mode and not turtle mode.
Yes, it goes from turtle to rabbit mode because there's only 2 fucking speeds on the scooter.
It's so stupid.
I want to go back to when Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli actually go into the forest, so like before they meet Gandalf, because I think this is fun. They try to set this up. It's hard for me to like remember how I took this because they try to kind of allude to, there's a white wizard in the forest. And so I think it's trying to be like, it's Saruman, the bad guy. So you're like, oh no, we hate it. But then it turns out to be Gandalf, and Gandalf has amnesia. And they're like, Gandalf. And then he's like, that used to be my name, wasn't it? And I was like, aren't you Jesus? Shouldn't you know? Okay. It's fine. It's fucking fine. But it's a good time.
Well, I didn't remember that, and I got excited.
Ooh! It is so exciting. And they do a good job. You, like, don't see his face right away. It's, like, blurry or white or something.
Well, and he's all business, man. So it's not like you see him and he's like, da-da-da-da-da, I'm here. Like, he's just like, let's go. Let's keep moving.
Yeah, he's like, I literally got resurrected to, like, fix some shit. So, like, don't fuck around. And here we go.
He's like, I'm basically dead. Like, so I gotta, like, get this mission going.
I also love when he's, like, does his weird little whistle call. And then there's, like, this really, a little bit too elongated scene. It's beautiful of his horse.
Oh, my God, Kate.
Fucking, like...
That was a little much.
It was fair. The horse comes up and he's like, they're like, oh, no way, it can't be. And he goes, that's right, it's the king of the horses. What the fuck is our horse king? And like, what are we doing?
Kate, I don't know, but my notes are, I'm telling you, I was in the weirdest mode. My notes are going, he forgot his name, Gandalf the Grey, and then introduces himself as Gandalf the White. How Kanye of him.
Yo, that is.
And now we got a horse king, which we were just watching that horse go in circles, and I was like, I don't know what's happening.
I'm
Gandalf's
dizzy.
back, and what's happening?
Yeah, so I do love the Gandalf reveal. But yes, we end up going to Rohan. He basically does an exorcism, and there's not as scary shit, and nobody's head turns around, and then, like, things are fixed, and I don't know, then hooray, go team.
He looks way better.
Yeah.
It's like he got, a facial.
Yeah, shaved.
Skin treatment, shaved.
Hair color.
You know what he really got?
Jonathan Van Ness makeover? Is that where you were going with that? So I thought the same thing. That's exactly.
Queer Eye came through
They did.
Gandalf's staff and fixed him. And they were like, and by the way, these curtains don't do anything for this castle. Sorry.
I could see Gandalf being a part of the Queer Eye cast, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what his niche would be, but...
Oh my God, he would be so good.
Oh boy. Okay. I love it.
Okay, well, we got off topic.
Alright, so where are we? Who are we? Carl Urban, something.
Well,
okay.
I know you don't want to shift,
We
but
could shift. Let's shift.
in Frodo, Sam, and Gollum are like getting closer, and Gollum's like, look, there's Mordor.
Yeah,
I got you there.
Right fucking there, you dipshits. Y'all couldn't find it yourselves? Damn.
Yeah, and then, which the balls on Frodo is like, all right, the gate's open, even though there's a giant group of people, let's just walk in behind them. And I was on Gollum's side with this. He's like, what are you, freaking nuts?
Yeah.
You're gonna get, like, eaten alive. And then, Kate, how about that sassy robe that they thought looked like a rock? That was just not happening.
This is another
for me.
Queer Eye moment. Tan would not approve of this wrinkly ass cape.
That did not look like a rock. And then all of a sudden you, like, see it and you're like, that's not a rock. Stop it.
First of all, it's because Sam rolled down the hill, which I'm like, okay, annoying.
Oh, gosh, so dramatic, Sam.
And then, not only does he roll down a hill, but then he gets stuck in, like, gravel. Like, waist deep. Like, why is there a sinkhole of gravel right there? I don't know. It was weird. And that's where, obviously then Frodo disguises them, and it totally works. And none of these mofo orcs who are literally, like, 5,000 feet in the air, who can probably see all the stuff, noticed.
Honestly?
Yeah.
I'm going back to Indiana Jones. I'm going back to, I don't know why, but I'm getting an It reference.
Ooh!
The fact that they were in, like, plain sight, and literally, just this is the Indiana Jones moment. Like, they're literally standing there, and they're like, we don't know where these people are.
They're digging, yeah.
And then I'm thinking of It when he gets attacked by that spider and, like, the crazy...
Yes.
Or is that... Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I'm just like, I just feel like it was a little cheesy. Like, they spent all the effort showing the Mordor huge door and the army go through, and that they almost got caught, but you're just like, okay, do we believe Gollum? Do we not believe Gollum? I'm just like, what's the plan here, people?
Well, it is fucking annoying how then Gollum's like, actually, there's another way. And then Sam's like, motherfucker, what, you brought us this way? Why did you bring us the other way? And then Gollum goes, because you didn't ask. And those are the types of people that I want to push down the gravel hill, and I want them to get stuck waist deep in the gravel, because I fucking cannot with that. Like, share the info, okay? Don't make me ask for it. Thank you. Good night.
Wait, I also thought I was really funny in this moment. And said, you're telling me these guards don't see them with that fucking cloth? What are they, David Blaine? What am I writing, Kate? What Why do I think I'm a comedian? in
I
these
don't know.
notes?
We need more David Blaine references on this podcast. I just decided. Oh my god. Okay. So, yeah, I don't even know where the fuck we are in the movie, honestly. I don't know. Let's talk about Merry and Pippin a little bit, because we've been neglecting them, and I know they're neglected, but, like, let's do it.
Those sweet baby angels. I felt like they had entered one of my corporate meetings.
Oh, no.
And they were like, hey, trees, we could, like, use some help with your, like, magical, incredible powers that you could actually, like, make things better. And the trees were like, let's talk about it. You're like, okay, but, like, we're kind of in a rush.
We have a deadline.
Let's have a meeting with other department heads. You're like, okay, but, like, I feel like we're all gonna die. We've decided you're not orcs. It's like,
Yes. I don't know what else you could have had Merry and Pippin doing, in all honesty. It was kind of like, well, or, you know, we're just gonna...
But they were brave. I mean, they kind of,
They
like...
were.
And you needed those trees, man. They really, like...
Yeah, they fucked shit
They
up.
showed up.
Yes, so it was good, but we don't get a lot of Merry and Pippin. They're not, like, as funny. I don't even think they have a lot of joke opportunities.
No, they're not.
It's just...
They're not.
It's like Merry being like, we gotta fight! And then Pippin's like, oh my god, a talking tree. And then the tree's like, I don't think we're gonna do that. Let's have a meeting. And you're like, oh god, what's happening? And that's like every time they cut back to them, it's the same formula. And you're like, okay.
You know what, though? I'm usually anti-CGI, but those trees looked pretty good.
Yeah,
huh?
they were cool. I like the design of them.
They aged well, too. I was like, oh, not bad.
Hashtag Ents.
Now, if we go back all the way to the Dark Crystal, some of that crazy mystical stuff, and then you look at the trees from this movie, that's how bad CGI could have been.
Oh, I was like, wait, is it? Were you making fun of the Dark Crystal or the Lord of the Rings? Because I like both, and now I'm sweating, but...
I hope
okay.
someone is a lifelong listener and gets these references, because if not, y'all got some homework to do.
Yeah, there's gonna be jumps, guys. Like, you gotta, follow up.
Okay.
But
yes.
So, yeah, I guess Merry and Pippin don't really do much, so there's not much to talk about. So, okay, fucking fine. Let's go back to Aragorn. He's hot. Not only is he hot, but he has caught the eye of a lady friend.
Ooh, he does. And I thought, isn't Liv Tyler your boo? So...
And she fucking is. So don't even worry.
So what are you doing with Eowyn?
Close. Eowyn, I think is how you say it. Yeah, she's okay. I think she gets better plot story in the next movie, but this one it's kind of like, I'll use a sword, and you're like, no, and then she's like, okay, and then that's it. And then she's like, Aragorn's hot, and I'm like, listen, I know, I get it, like, I'm with you, girl, like, I'm literally with you all day, every day, but like, that's sad, that's all you got in this movie.
I know.
Yeah.
Literally, she's the niece, right, of the king.
I think she might be the daughter.
I thought she was the niece.
No, I think she's the daughter because her brother died and the brother was the guy's son.
Oh, shit.
The nephew was Carl Urban, who is her cousin. Do we draw a family tree?
This sounds, okay, you know what this sounds like? I go back to my hometown and someone's like, do you know that high school person that dated this person that knew that person? And then my eyes glaze over and I take a shot and say no. And I walk away. That's what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Okay, but basically what made her lame is she had all these opportunities to like take action and her moral compass was right there. She knew the king, something was wrong.
Yeah.
She knew she could fight. She knew Aragorn was hot as hell.
Yeah.
But she never did anything.
No, she never tried to cop a feel. And when your life's on the line, cop a feel.
I mean, we all thought Aragorn died at some point.
Oh, yeah. I
mean, Kate, you can't
Bridget, it's...
Some people watch this movie for the first time. Okay, but the thing with this king, okay, he kind of pissed me off.
He's a bitch.
Because Gandalf comes in,
yeah,
saves his ass, and then they're like, all right, you gotta round up the troops and fight, because, like, there's a lot of orcs coming. And the king's like, no. And you're like, excuse me, we just saved your life.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, I don't think so.
He's like, we're gonna go hide instead. And you're like,
but
what
excuse me,
they go find you? you because you're not really hiding because we all know where you're going. Maybe you should hide somewhere else. Oh, you don't want to do that? Okay, cool.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's a weird plan, and I don't know how far apart their little, like, town place is compared to Helm's Deep, but it felt like we were trekking, and what happens when you trek, Bridge?
Man, orcs come out. Orcs and these wolves.
Yeah, you get ambushed.
What are those called, Kate?
I want to say wargs, but that might not be correct.
What is that word?
That might be right. Let me look it up. If I'm right, you owe me $1. Warg! I'm such a fucking nerd.
But I'll give you $1.
I'm such a fucking nerd. I love it. Yeah. They're scary. But this is another bullshit moment where Legolas is like, "You're guys, I'll be the lookout," and then he doesn't look out. And then what? Why? What are we doing?
Honestly, that scene gave you, like, a little taste of, like, action.
Yeah.
And that was, like, pretty good. And whether you believe it or not, I was like, Aragorn fell off this freaking cliff into the river and shit ain't good.
It was bad.
However, they lost a bunch of men and the king is still being an idiot. He's like, "We're still going to Helm's Deep." And you're like, "Oh, you're the worst." Fine, let's go.
Yeah.
But don't worry, because we, once again, as Katie and I would say, meanwhile, Gollem, you start to see his...
Oh.
Katie, would you classify this as bipolar?
Oh, no, that's definitely...
Schizophrenic?
Mm-mm.
What, multiple personalities?
Yeah, I feel like it would probably best fit that, which is super rare.
Okay, because I wrote down what I think is the funniest fucking Gollem quote.
I think I know it.
Say it.
Is it, "You don't have any friends? Nobody likes you." The fucking way they filmed that too, they like zoom in and his eyes are like huge and he's like smiling as he says it. I was like, God damn it.
I'm just gonna say that we've all looked in the mirror. And we've all been like, "You don't have any friends."
If you've ever been an insecure 13-year-old girl who has her period and you don't understand your body yet, yeah, you've had this conversation with yourself.
Oh my God.
It's not okay. I just kept writing, "Wow, Gollem, you gotta get a one-man show set up because this is
God.
It's great. It's a good time."
Oh my God. And then Sam is talking about potatoes.
Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. That's another song on YouTube. I got a lot of YouTube videos to send you, Bridge. Get ready.
Stupid fat hobbit.
I love when Gollum goes, "What's tater?"
That's what I mean. I'm like, you're telling me this movie is 3 fucking hours long and we gotta talk about potatoes? Peter Jackson, you're killing me.
I do love how fucking during that part, Frodo just fucking wanders. Like, again, a little lost kid with no leash and no responsible adult, and he's just wandering and nobody seems to care. And then they're like, "Oh, I guess we'll go find Frodo." And then don't worry, because literally 2 feet off that way, there's a giant ass army marching somewhere. And what, guys, you're too busy with the potatoes. You didn't notice.
Well, and you're telling me they can't bust out their rock cloak again? No. Okay, they just literally captured.
They cannot. It's not wrinkly enough, Bridge. Sorry. It's
I just was like, okay. Now that's a whole, we gotta pause on that, because that's a whole other thing.
Yes.
Because, okay, what is the test where there's like not enough women in a movie? It's called the Bechdel.
The Bechdel test is when you have 2 female characters and the first line of dialogue they have between each other is about men. So I don't think that's what this is.
Well, I'm saying there's like not a lot of female characters.
There's not.
And we finally get to Liv Tyler.
Oh,
who's
yes. Aragorn's wet dream.
Uh-huh. And I was like, about time we have a woman.
Yep.
What I got from that was her dad's like, "Break up with this dickhead." And she's like, "Dad, no." And he's like, "Oh my God, he is not that great." And she's like, "Aragorn's hot as fuck, Dad."
And then I chime in and I'm like, "Yeah, not Dad. Did you hear her?" And he's like, "Who the fuck are you? Get out of my face." Yeah.
Oh my God. So that is also kind of funny because she convinces her dad later on to like have some elf army come and really help them.
Yeah.
Right?
It's partially her and it's partially Cate Blanchett, who is Galadriel. But yeah, it's like both. And Elrond was trying to be like, "Oh, Aragorn is a mortal, so he's going to die and you're going to live forever and ever and ever. So why don't you just go with the other elves who are like taking the ship like far away from here, who will also live forever and ever and ever." So that's why he was trying to be like, "You should break up." And she's like, "No." out. And I thought this was in this movie, and I don't remember if it was in the first movie, or it might be in the third movie, but at some point, she basically is like, I give up my immortality, and now I'm mortal because you're so hot. And then Aragorn's like, stop, no, don't. And then she's like, I did it! And he's like, thank God, okay, never mind, we're good. And then they, do that.
That's gotta be the last one.
Yeah, I don't think that happened in the first one, but it has to do with, like, the necklace, too. Like, remember that necklace they kept referencing that she gave him? And, there's, ties to that and stuff. But, yeah, it's just kind of a wet dream he has where he's like, oh, God, my girlfriend, let's make out. And then he's like, I don't know what I'm doing. And she's like, you know what you're doing. And he's like, you're right. Thanks for the pep talk. And I was like, I could have done that. Damn it. Why didn't you invite me? All right.
Aragorn, call me.
I'm available.
Oh, my God. But don't worry, because she doesn't listen to her dad like every daughter.
Yeah.
And like you said, Cate Blanchett comes in and she's like, listen, all men suck. We will come help you. Like, men will ruin the earth. Men make bad decisions. And I'm like, Cate Blanchett, your character is pretty hilarious, even though you have 2 minutes in this movie.
Giving the real talk, she is. Yes. And then in here, because Aragorn has a wet dream, it immediately wakes him up, gives him new life, if you will. There's a lot of men jokes in there. You all can make them yourselves. You don't need us for that. His horse is so fucking adorable. So cutesy. Such a good boy or girl. I don't know. Comes on up, gives little kissies, and then it's like, I got laid down, and then you got get yourself up, because I'm just a horse with no arms. And then he does, and then they ride away, and I love that. It's so fun. Oh, so cute.
All right. Are you ready to move on?
I gotta move on, so I can keep talking about it.
Okay. So, we are all getting to Helm's Deep. Katie and I have taken about 56 minutes, but we are getting to Helm's Deep.
How long has it been? Oh my God.
This movie is so fucking long. We have so much to talk about.
Hashtag straight out of Helm's Deep. That's a shirt that I want to buy, by the way.
Oh my God, there's so many shirts, Katie.
I know, there's a lot.
There's so many shirts.
Never ending.
But this is where, okay, we got 300 men. The king is like, holy crap. They already got a taste of the orc army. Shit is not good. And meanwhile, Gandalf's trying to recruit people. Merry and Pippin are trying to recruit people. Frodo and Sam just got captured. I mean, Kate, it's looking a little dark. And even Legolas is like, we're fucked.
Legolas is such a little emo bitch. He's like, we're all gonna die. All these people, they're gonna die. Everyone's gonna die. We suck. And then Aragorn's like, hey! Knock it off! And then Legolas is like, ah! And this is the Real Housewives drama again. This is where this comes up with their subplot.
But I'll tell you, then Legolas is like, sorry, I just like had a moment. And you're like, oh my God, we get it. Like, it's bad.
And then Gimli's on the side like, I'm here too. Look at my armor, LOL.
He's like, I still have a cramp from that run earlier.
All Gimli did in this fucking movie was like make weird jokes. And you're like, oh, is there anything else? That's it. Okay.
Oh my God.
It's fine.
But at this point I was like, okay, I'm like not an action movie person, but I was ready for action.
Yes.
I was like, we have watched these fucking orcs walk through literally the entire Middle Earth, okay? Let's see how big they are. Let's just see what's happening. And it was pretty epic. And I gotta tell you, if I was fighting all those orcs, poop out of my pants, pee my pants,
throw it at them as a weapon.
But I gotta say, Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli were like, we can't wait to murder people. I was like, holy shit.
They're ready to murder, and then we get the magical elf army with, what's the guy? Hattie, I think is his name or something. the blonde, I don't know why I'm asking you. The blonde elf guy who was like, hey guys, here we are. We come from Elrond. And you're like, what? Son of a bitch! You coming to help us? Oh my God.
Well, and I would want some elves. Like, they got mystical powers.
Yeah.
They really know how to work a bow.
No, they work them all right. Yeah, thank God. So that helped a little bit because like their army before that was Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli, the king, 2 other normal guys, and then I'm pretty sure 9-year-olds and then 85-year-olds.
It was really little giants after they lost
It
Spike.
was very little giants.
Okay, and Rick Moranis was not helping.
No, not good.
Okay.
Not good.
But they got it together. They got it together.
So it was good that the elves came, and then the fight gets started. Oh, and right as the fight's gonna get started, we get more drama because timing and weather, because it fucking rains and thunderstorms.
Oh my god. And then the king was just like, well, good luck, guys. I was like, you are the worst.
Yeah, he doesn't give good pep talks. Aragorn's like, I guess I'll fucking give a little pep talk. God damn it. I gotta do everything around here. My god.
Oh my god. And then honestly, like, it gets a little sadistic because Legolas and Gimli are like counting the people they murder. They're like, 1, 27, 32. I was like, dude, that's like a lot more numbers to 10,000.
Yeah.
So y'all are nuts.
Speed it up, guys.
And then I wrote, oh snap, the orcs got King Koopa balls and they're throwing it at us.
Oh my god, what a reference! Mario reference? That's amazing. Did you love the dun, 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 dun,
Oh my god.
dun,
Oh my
dun,
god.
dun, dun.
So good.
The fucking Olympic torch run right there.
Oh
Why
my
hasn't
God.
any Olympic ceremony made their torch holder person dress up as an orc and
I know.
run to the torch? Because what?
And fall.
What are we doing? Yeah.
Yeah, what are we doing?
And then it explodes a brick wall or some shit. Like, what? Step it up, guys. All right?
Step it up.
Jesus Christ.
Legolas is sliding downstairs.
Oh.
Like he's freaking Kevin McAllister.
They
They pulled out every fight scene angle and just like worked it. And I gotta say, like they shot it really well. Like I
Yeah.
thought you'd get bored of the fight scene after a while, but they just kept doing these different angles and little mini scenes. And I mean, at one point, Aragorn tosses Gimli like he's like a little.
Oh.
I mean, Kate, I don't even know what to call it, but he just tosses him.
Like a fucking beanbag Gimli. I don't even know. We're just, at this point, they just use their bodies as weapons.
Yeah.
That's where we're at in the fight.
Yeah.
There's a lot happening, and eventually they start to lose, and you're like, not looking
Yeah, it's not
good.
good.
Everyone around
It's
you
not
is
good.
dying. Even your dog's dead.
They retreat, they pull in the like retreat, and you're like, oh god, we're screwed.
Yeah. And then Aragorn again has to make a little speechy to Theoden, who's being a little bitch, and he's like, well, I guess we're gonna die. And then Aragorn's like, can you like help us with the door if you're just gonna stand around and do nothing? And then he's like, we're gonna like die. And then he's like, why don't we get on our horses, which apparently have been in here the whole time, and I don't know why we didn't ride them sooner, but now they're here, so let's do
Here they are.
that and just run people over. And then that's what they do. And could have done it sooner, I think.
And Kate,
Bridget.
does the epic scene happen?
Oh my God.
When does it happen? When does it happen?
At dawn. Look for me! Somewhere. Or where the light touch it. Wait, that's Lion King. Something.
That's Land Before Time. No, like...
something Gandalf on the 5th day, bitch.
Whoa. I gotta tell you, this... I could watch it over and over and
So
over and over again.
cool.
When Gandalf
Ugh.
is at the side of the hill, and he's got his freaking staff, and who's behind him, Kate? Who is that?
The Riders of Rohan!
Wow.
Did you not think that's who it was? Or?
I thought it was another place besides Rohan.
No, it's the Riders of Rohan.
Oh, okay. And then, as he goes down, and that in itself is the coolest thing, because all the orcs are like, whoa, we got, like, someone on the side, and, okay, we weren't prepared. And then the freaking sun blinds them. Wow.
It's magic.
Take a moment, Gandalf. Once again, comes to save the day.
Fucking love them. And then you don't really see much more of the fight, because the movie's like, yeah, they win now.
They win.
You get it.
They just win.
You get it. It's all good. Yeah. So that's awesome. Fucking love that.
Yes. And they all are like, we're alive! This is awesome!
We made it! Thank God. Are we gonna make it in the next movie? Probably not, but let's do it.
Meanwhile,
the
trees.
Trees are having a lame-ass work meeting that we've all been invited to that could have been a Zoom meeting, then the Zoom meeting could have been an email, and then somebody asks for your opinion and you give them a realistic, feasible solution, and then they ignore it and say, never mind, we can't fix it. And you're like, but I told you how to fix it, and then they didn't.
Definitely.
That's what that is.
Yep. But in true fashion, Merry and Pippin were like, I don't know which one it was, but it was very smart. He's like, let's go south.
It was
And they're
actually Pippin.
like, Pippin, you little smart.
Making himself useful. Thanks, Pippin.
Pippy Pip's like, hey, let's go south.
Mm.
I have some weird excuse, but let's go. And then the trees are like, holy cow. Like Gimli going to his family reunion, he's like, every one of my family members are dead.
Yeah.
These orcs and
Isengard.
Isengard.
There were doors, but Yeah.
Devastated the whole forest, and that was awesome because all the trees came out and were like, oh, no, you didn't talk about my mama, and just then came to, like, really rip shit up.
And if there was a table, the trees would have flipped the table like Teresa Giudice on The Real Housewives of New Jersey.
And they basically, like, took a dam and let the river just flood the entire city.
Which was
right?
smart, because then they put out all the fires, and it filled up the whole thing, and then, and then Saruman's like, oh shit, I don't got anybody really here, because I sent everybody off to, like, go battle, and now I'm, like, by myself. Oh.
And you're like, but nobody likes you, so...
You're like, you're a little bitch, so...
So then the movie then takes you from this, like, really difficult, really low, to, like, high.
Yeah.
So you're like, we're winning battles. Trees are ripping shit up. But then it's like, hey, we're only the second movie, so we gotta take you back down again. And then we get to Frodo, Gollem, and Sam, and you're like, oh, there's still drama. And then we meet Boromir?
No. Boromir died.
Boromir's brother.
Boromir's brother. Who is Faramir. And they have a sister named Jennymere. No, just kidding. I don't know what.
All I wrote is Boromir's family sucks.
Oh, they sucked hard. Wait till the third movie. They suck worse.
Oh, man, Kate. But they're the ones that captured Frodo and Sam.
Yes.
And he learns about the ring.
He does.
And he's a man. And Kate Blanchett warned us that all men ruin everything.
Men with rings.
No. Just say no to those proposals, lady. And I was like, basically, to me, I don't know, somehow get into another battle. I was like trying to follow. I got lost. And then we met the 2-syllable Sauron.
Sauron. Yes, that's the eyeball. Yes. He was sending the ring wraiths, who were like the zombie guys, and now they have dragons, which is a lot, but it's great, but it's scary.
Katie.
Yeah.
So tiring.
And for some reason, Faramir brings Frodo, Sam, and eventually they capture Gollum. They go to this place called Minas Tirith, which is literally right next door to Mordor. Like, it's right, like, there it is. Like, I could throw a stone at Mordor, and, like, I don't understand why we're going this place. And there's, like, an active battle happening, and they're just like, anyway, we're just, like, passing through. Don't worry about us. Nobody worry. It's fine. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then this was another drama part where Frodo was like, I'm a little zombie hobbit baby, and I'm gonna get my ring and dragon on a rooftop for the trailer. But then Sam tackles him.
He has one job, right?
It's one.
Take that ring, put it in this, like, lava place. Don't give it to anyone, especially the person that will literally ruin the earth.
Yeah.
And he literally, you're right about this leash. He just walks towards them and takes out his ring and hands it to him.
Yeah.
Thank God for Sam.
Would have been a different movie if we had a leash. Yeah.
Oh my God. Who channeled his old Rudy, comes in, tackle him, and then gave an epic speech to be like, get your shit together. And in, like, Real Housewives, slaps him across the face. No, kidding.
Basically. Well, Frodo also almost shanks him, lest we forget. That was a Real Housewives moment where it's like,
oh my God,
I will fucking ruin you, even though you're my best friend and I hate you. And you're like, and then they're like, I'm kidding. I was drunk. Sorry. And you're like, oh no. Okay.
But I'm sure I'm lost, but it kind of ends a little blunt, right? Like, it's like,
well, because then, like, with their subplot, then Faramir comes over and he's like, I can see now the ring is evil. And you're like, yeah, all right. I don't know why we needed, like, to have a dumb experience for that. But then he's like, all right, you're not my prisoners anymore. You're free to go. Good luck. I could go and help you, but good luck. Bye.
Oh my God.
So you're like, okay.
The worst.
So they go off, and then Gandalf, Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli are like, okay, Helm's Deep is, like, done, whatever. Now we're gonna go to Gondor, because they gotta get their shit together. And that's where Aragorn is the rightful king of, but he's not king, because he was, like, fucking wandering around the forest with his elf girlfriend all the time, being irresponsible, a la the Lion King. Fine. And then Merry and Pippin are just, like, fucking shit up in Isengard with some trees. movies, and that is kind of how it ends. And you do get a little, I don't want to say cliffhanger, but you get like an illusion that Gollum basically now is like, okay, I was like liking Frodo, but now I don't like him anymore, and now I'm gonna try to kill them both. And you're like, oh no! And then the movie ends, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, it is this big bell curve where you're like,
yeah,
shit's bad, everyone's separated, and then you're like, oh my god, we just won an epic battle. Gandalf's alive. Oh my god, the trees are messing stuff up. We're good. Oh, we're back down, and we're still separated. It ends bluntly. Now you got Gollum. I don't know what the third has in store.
It's got a lot. It's so good. Well, Bridge, would you watch or don't watch this movie?
Really watch.
Woo!
Like really super duper watch. I'm a big fan of just like find someone who's fun and spend the weekend watching all these movies and just get a ton of like popcorn and just like go to the basement and just have a blast and just like rip through them because I think they're awesome.
Yes.
It's your whole day. You have no life, but oh boy, is it worth it.
It is your whole day. It's like 11 hours. Probably collectively.
It's worth it.
Well, I agree.
Well, and David who recommended this.
Fold the cheese, David.
David, I don't know if that's how you wanted it reviewed, but that's how we did it. So
I think David loved it because we're so great and we won the battle at Helm's Deep in our hearts.
David, like that Gandalf scene with the you know, I gotta tell you. All right, well, Kate!
Woo, Bridge!
Kate, you would watch this, right?
I
definitely.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, was I here?
I think you were. Yes, I would watch it all the time.
Oh, but I think it is my pick for you.
Ooh, yes, it is. Tis.
All right. Like this movie that jumped, went forward, went backwards.
Oh.
Like us, we did not go sequential. We went all over the place.
Yeah.
We admitted to you back on January 12th.
Yeah.
The X-Men episode.
Yes.
That we had a little whoopsie doodle, okay? We were kind of acting like the King of Rohan under the spell and fucking lost our goddamn Cool Runnings episode.
Yeah.
So, Kate, I think it's only fair that we do it again.
Woo! Feel the rhythm. Feel the rhyme. Jamaican bumps that time? I don't even remember what
We promise not to delete the file
to save the file this time. Yes. Oh,
literally,
dear.
I cannot tell you how we have been doing this, Kate, for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Close to 100 episodes. We have not once fucked up a weekly episode. God damn it, did we do it this time. And we are going to right our wrongs.
Yes.
We are going to Aragorn this.
Woo!
We're going to Sam the Brave it.
Woo!
And we're going to do it all over again.
Woo!
And no one knows if it will be better or worse because we are the only ones that experienced it. But we're going to make it better.
Yes. And this will be good timing because I think the Winter Olympics will be happening. Will there be Jamaican Bob's team? Probs not, but we can dream in our hearts. Woo!
We'll tell you all about it, and
I'm excited.
I mean, it's still like a really fun, nostalgic movie. So even if you watched it like a month ago, pop it in again, take out your memory bank. We're going to talk about it.
Yes. Well, and Bridge.
Yes?
I just want to say, if you were known as Bridget the Grey, and
as in my hair.
No. And you went through a spiritual awakening, whether it's by battling a Balrog or I don't know.
Okay.
And you came back as Bridget the White. I would write about your inspirational story to Queer Eye season whatever and try to get you to be picked to be on Queer Eye because it's a great show and this is a great movie and there's two great things happening and I love you.
You're like, she has a new identity. She hasn't really stepped into her
And then
own.
I'm like, have you ever seen The Two Towers? Don't worry, I wrote the synopsis in my 45-page essay email. Here it is. Good luck. Thank you.
Well, Kate,
Bridge,
if you are trekking along on the most epic quest of your life to destroy the One Ring to rule them all,
One Ring to find them.
and then like your friend brings like another friend,
Yeah.
that you're like, why couldn't you just tell us the directions from the start? Okay, I would straight up Gimli tackle the shit out of them and get them out of your way.
I would pick you up and throw you Gimli style onto them because that shit's dumb. And don't do that, listeners. Share the info when you have it. All right. Oh, I love that. I love that. Well, and listeners, if you also love Gimli or other people being thrown as weapons, and if you think that Gandalf the Grey had a Queer Eye style makeover as Gandalf the White, and if you think this movie is fucking awesome because it is, you should write us a review.
Hey.
We love reviews. We love written reviews. You can review us on Apple Podcasts. You can also review us on Spotify. That's a new thing. You can't write reviews on it. It's just stars. But please go on and do that. It's very much appreciated. And we also have a website, sisterswhoseenit.com. If you scroll down on the main page, there's a form you can fill out to request a movie. So, this movie, Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, was requested by David. And if you would like to be like David, and if you have a burning desire to request something, and you want us to make weird references to things not related to the movie, like Queer Eye and Real Housewives, we're here for you, and we'll do it, alright? So get in there. And Bridge, what else can they do on the website?
They can buy us coffee.
Woo!
Or if you can't stand those references, we could be paid off and we'll go back to other references.
Wow! Yeah! Pay us money! Whee!
I am shamelessly asking for money. No, but for real, it makes us realize you like what we're doing. And I think it's just something nice. So you should do it. It's a lot of work.
Yes. We love that.
Mainly for Katie. And, it just helps us trek along. So if you're inspired and you want to put up those $, we'll take them.
Oh, yeah. All right. So check all that out. And we hope to hear from you. All right, listeners. Well, we'll see y'all next week for Cool Runnings. Take 2.
Take 2. No take backsies. No deleteses.
We're gonna download
John
things
Candy.
right away. Don't panic.
The appropriation is close, but it's not as bad as you think.
No, it's a good movie. Yeah.
Da, 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 da. See you next week.
Ba,
for
ba, da, ba,
Cool
bow, ba,
Runnings.
bow.
Da, 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 da. Bye.
Bye. I love you.
Bye-bye. Throw yourself like Gimli. Make sure you stretch. Love you. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who've Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at sisterswhoseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.